All right, folks. I am at home right now. I left the station a little bit ago, but there are, golly, there are a lot of there's several wicked storms ongoing across the country tonight, and that's why I'm doing this little update here from my home. Of course, these are out of the Texoma viewing area. These are not in our area, but there are tornado warnings currently for the northern side of the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. And there's also, and I know this is a long way out of our area, but still pretty interesting. Tornado emergency was declared for Greensburg, Kansas, again just a short while ago. With another, if you remember, a while back there was a huge tornado that just wiped out the entire town of Greensburg, Kansas. And but tonight again they had a near miss of another monster wedge tornado. But I'll talk more about that here in just a moment. This is what I'm tracking though. This is going to be, if you look here, this is across the metroplex. This is part of some of the same storms we were looking at earlier. Big supercell thunderstorm. Despite an increasing hostile environment across the area, big supercell thunderstorm here that is producing large hail over Prosper across the northern sides of the metroplex here. Earlier had circulation near Frisco, and there's still a bit of a circulation in there, but if you take a look at the rotation in the thunderstorm, there's not a lot of significant rotation. There's a little bit in there, but not a tremendous amount of rotation. There was some in there kind of near Frisco, and now I don't really see much in the way of rotation with this storm, to be honest about it. I think the bigger concern with this thunderstorm remains just large hail. And as the what we call convective inhibition or the SIN increases, we're going to see these storms continue to come down. As a matter of fact, it looks like the tornado warning has been canceled for now. Mostly just a big hail threat. Moving on the north side of the metroplex, this is moving kind of northeast of Frisco. The tornado threat now out of Frisco, and you're seeing this thunderstorm. It's got hail and maybe still some very weak rotation. Oh, just moving very, very, very close to the McKinney area. But no tornado warning right now, just a severe thunderstorm warning, some pretty large hail. The atmosphere is increasing what we call SIN. That means there's a bit of a cap increasing, and that's actually kind of starting to try to weaken some of these thunderstorms. But that's a pretty strong storm, and it can still produce hail again as it moves across the northern side of the metroplex. Hey, a little thunderstorm has been able to manage to develop and grow. It's not severe, but a little bit of a downpour. Did move over Henrietta here a short while ago. Now, this is not severe. And again, the cap is pretty strong, so these updrafts are probably not going to get too out of hand here, which is definitely good news. But over Henrietta, there was a little shower. That's kind of between Henrietta and Jolly, maybe a little lightning with it. And that's going to kind of move up towards Stanfield, maybe Petrolia area as it makes its way to the northeast. Again, that is not severe. We can look down to the south here. Pretty big thunderstorms down here towards the Abilene area. And this is where a lot of the activity has originated from this afternoon. It's still a severe thunderstorm warning down there, but I do expect that storm to diminish here pretty soon as the nighttime cap increases. But you can see some little showers still trying to develop on the backside of that. Very humid, very moist atmosphere, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some additional showers or even thunderstorms develop overnight tonight across parts of Texoma here. There's that little shower we're just looking at that's kind of north of Henrietta now. And again, this is nothing severe. I'll keep an eye on that because, again, we got such a very humid atmosphere and the winds are blowing hard out there tonight. And they're really, really, really getting with it. So we'll keep an eye on that. Now, I do want to go up to Kansas here. And again, it is nowhere near my viewing area. But of course, a lot of people are on YouTube and have been watching. I've been watching some of those guys like Max Velocity and Ryan Hall and those guys, and I'm sure they've been doing a good job of covering this. But I am watching these storms. So you've got two of them actually here. You've got two cells. This is the storm that produced a big tornado just south of Greensburg. It looks like to me that tornado moved right over the eastern, or barely maybe missed the main community of Greensburg. It just kind of went over the eastern side, or maybe just east of there. Then kind of went up towards between Greensburg and Haviland and Wellsford. And if we take a look at the velocity signatures on that, still a lot of rotation in it. Probably still producing a tornado, I would think. Let's stop this from moving. Let's see what this little red triangle says here. Let's click on it. So this just kind of indicates the I'm not even sure what any of this stuff means here, but MDA strength at 2.1. I'm not sure what that means. Let's see if there's any debris picking up in this here. And when you look at debris, you're looking for inconsistencies. You don't pay attention to all the clutter up here. You look for the main cell, and underneath it, you'll see a lot of the consistent stuff. And what that is showing is that's showing where you see where you see raindrops and whatnot, but where you see a little dot right there. And this indicates that there might be a little debris there just northwest of Haviland. So I know for sure there's a wedge tornado with this, or it was near Greensburg. It looks like there's a little bit of debris there, maybe showing up. Maybe it looks like some of these. Again, I'm not sure what MDA strength means. I'm not. This is a new technology that I'm not familiar with. So, but anyway, there a little debris showing up there north of Haviland, and there's also some more rotation showing up here with the storm on the southwest side here, and that's going to move south of Greensburg, but that's going to head right at the Haviland area. I don't think that has a tornado warning for it right now. It may. But that is definitely going to be a pretty significant storm, and it does have the rotation. It could produce a tornado at any time as it heads up towards that Haviland area here. I'm trying to see if there's any storm chasers out here that got anything good here tonight. Let's see here. There is my friend Brett Adair. He is on looks like he's wrapped up in a lot of rain. I know he's up there in Kansas chasing these storms, and I've been watching them, and they've had some big wall clouds and tornadoes on their cameras there at times tonight, though. And I do appreciate what few people we have on here tonight. I know that most people are relaxing at home now and not really worried about the weather. But, again, I know we got stuff going on here, and I'm just gonna do an update. This is not something I'm gonna be on here all night with here. I'm looking at some storm chase feeds to see if I see anything that's worth showing. If I do find something, I'll try to quickly show it here. I'm looking at a storm chaser near Haviland, Kansas, and there's a lot of lightning and a lot of rain there. Of course, if you're there, you could probably see it better. But since I'm not, I cannot see it. So looks like a lot of these people are perhaps maybe wrapped in the rain, wrapped in the thunderstorm itself, maybe. So it's pretty difficult. So let me see. I might be able to add this in here. Let's see here. I don't know if you can add two at the same time. I don't think you can. So I'm going to add another screen share. Give me just a second. I'm not sure that this will let you show this, but there it is right there. There's your storm chaser feed there. And it says a tornado chaser there in the Greensburg, Kansas area. And as you can see, just moving along there with the storm, and you're looking at that heavy rain area and a lot of lightning, but I don't see any signs of a tornado in any of this here. I wonder if there's a way you can interact with this here. Might not be able to. Maybe if I go in here and do this, that I can. Oh, that's a good chaser feed. Let me see if we got this one here. Yeah, that's a good feed there. But as you can see a lot of lightning associated with that particular part of the storm. A lot of lightning. And again, this is up there near, kind of in that area where that storm is up there towards Greensburg, Kansas here. So, yeah, I think Wichita Falls is good for tonight. There might be a shower or a thunder shower, but nothing severe overnight tonight. I'll keep an eye on that. I mean, I'm looking at radar right now, and I don't see anything, down our way of any concern. So I did mention earlier that we do have a risk for some severe weather tomorrow. Actually, I'm looking at that little cell that's northeast of Henrietta, and it's actually increased some with a little bit of a hail signature showing up. I mean, and then looks like there might also be a little development maybe down towards Graham. No, that's going to be the a wind farm down there, but a little bit of hail showing up there north of Henrietta now. So let's switch gears here and let's go back over to radar. And there is that little cell I was just talking about. Yeah, that's this little thunderstorm here. It's not anything severe. It's kind of northeast of Henrietta. You can see it on the radar there, just south of Petrolia. This little cell is moving to the northeast. You don't, not enough data has ingested to really be able to see, but there's a little hail core that started popping up. So maybe some pea-sized hail just north of Henrietta and just kind of south of Petrolia. So is Stephenville in the clear tonight? Well, if you go down here, Stephenville, you're all quiet for right now. The bulk of that storm that was north of you missed you, but there is this big storm that's back towards Abilene or east of kind of southeast of Abilene. Most of our weather information suggests that this is going to weaken over the next several hours, but there still could be a thunderstorm in your area in Stephenville. But I think that that's going to weaken, honestly, before it gets to you. Well, looks like we got a new tornado warning now for the northern side of the Metroplex here. We'll go back in there and take a look at it and see what it shows. This is going to be up towards McKinney. This is on the northeast side of Dallas. And once again, if you look at all this, see all this blue, hazy, fuzzy stuff? That right there is the radar. And believe it or not, there's people out there that believe that that these radars these days, these Doppler radars that we use to help save people's lives, are shooting into these storms. I guarantee if you go on Twitter or some of these social media platforms, you can find them. And they think that all this blue stuff you see here is the government spraying chemicals into the atmosphere to make us sick, and then using the Doppler radar to create these storms. Well, that's not what that is. What this is here is that above the Earth's surface, the air is really warm. It's warmer above the Earth's surface than it is at the Earth's surface, because at nighttime you get radiational cooling. You know, your whatever heat you absorb throughout the day escapes and lifts up above the ground. So that's where their heat go. So anyway, so when the radar beam, which in this case is there near the old Burleson area, hits that warm layer, it's called an inversion. It causes that beam to bend down and pop the ground. And when that happens, you get all this clutter here. I always referred to as ground clutter is the word you probably would recognize it as. It's really called AP, anomalous propagation, there on radar. But no, that is not the government shooting chemicals in the atmosphere. Like that storm near Henrietta is growing a little bit. But let's look at this one near McKinney here for a moment. And again, there is a little rotation there just northwest of Kinney. Usually as we see this, as we see the nighttime inversion increase, and we're seeing that now, usually these things, it starts to chew up these thunderstorms. Remember, a thunderstorm has to remain in an unstable environment for it to continue to maintain its updraft strength. It means it has to ingest warm air, and the air above it has to remain cool. So these thunderstorms, they're really strong, and their updrafts are super strong, and they're able to overcome what little bit of a cap that is in place there, a little bit of inversion that is there. It's able to suck the air up from the Earth's surface anyway. But as that inversion continues to increase and the temperatures of the surface continue to cool some overnight, you're going to continue to see the atmosphere become more stable or stabilized a bit. So these thunderstorms will wind up weakening some, I think, in the next several hours. I don't think there'll be an overnight tornado threat there. But you do see a little rotation there, southeast of Prosper and just west of McKinney, and it is moving a little bit to the east. It is not a significant switch sources here. It's not a significant couplet, but there is a little weak spin in there. And of course, when it's over a heavily populated area like this, the National Weather Service is going to issue, even with the little things like this, issue tornado warning. I'm sure that the Dallas-Fort Worth area is on with it right now. As they kind of make their way to the northeast. So if you live north of McKinney there, or up towards Melissa or New Hope, a little bit of rotation. This does not look like it's producing a tornado. In fact, you can almost see that convective inhibition or the SIN beginning to eat on this thunderstorm. Look how it's beginning to shrink a little bit. So that may continue to come down some. So let's go back up here and take a look at this storm that's kind of north of Henrietta here. It has grown quite a bit, and I'm a bit surprised by that, because we got the nighttime cooling that's taking place now. And, we typically don't see a lot of thunderstorms whenever this takes place, but it's so humid outside and so warm and so unstable that, we could still see the atmosphere try to recover some. And that's why there's that little thunderstorm that is right there. And again, sorry, I'm trying to change some stuff here. So that storm is north of Henrietta. It's going to miss Petrolia, quick downpour, and a little bit of hail as it makes its way up towards Stanfield and into the Ryan area. Oh, I didn't want to do that. That's not what I wanted to do here. Sorry, I'm playing around here with this here. So, but again, up north there of Henrietta, that's where you're seeing that shower, that thunderstorm at this point in time, and it's moving. It's moving at a pretty good little clip there. You know, you may wind up seeing a little bit of a perhaps maybe a little bit. You know, I hear my dog barking in the background. Maybe a brief severe thunderstorm warning might come out for that. But you know, it's head towards Stanfield, Ryan, those areas. We'll keep an eye on it. If that doesn't look like anything too major, you can see some additional showers popping up down here to the northwest of this other cell down here and kind of northwest to the shower area there. I mean, the Abilene area. So we'll watch that. And again, you do got this tornado warning on the northeast side of Dallas here, but this storm really doesn't look. You know, I just don't see a lot of rotation in it, honestly. I mean, it's got a nice hook, but you can see it's weakening pretty quickly. And I would think that even the hail sizes have come down. I would think that the chances for a tornado with this will probably wane here pretty soon. I mean, you can see a little rotation down there on it, though, just west of McKinney. But this is moving kind of due north. The little rotating part is, but the cell itself is weakening pretty quickly here, and I would expect that warning to, you know, to be dropped here pretty soon. We'll keep an eye on that and tell you, and I'll keep on watching this storm. Me up there north of Henrietta, it's not a bad looking little cell. It's been able to develop and kind of survive despite the hostile environment that it's in. You know, it's got a nice little hook on it, and or I had a nice little hail core try to develop a little hook. You can look at the winds. There's no rotation in it at all, so we're not worried about that. So, all right, so we got some questions over here, and I'm about to try to answer those questions here. Uh-oh. It didn't share, did it? Uh-oh. Okay. Well, I messed up something, guys. So let me see if I can reshare that. Y'all should have said something. I've been sitting there talking to myself the whole time. Or I think. Maybe I haven't been. Let's see. No? All right. So anyway, there's that little shower, little thunderstorm that's popped up north of Henrietta there. And you know, you got a little hail core there headed towards Ryan and Sugden. Going to pass southeast of Petrolia. Petrolia, this is going to miss you. Byers will miss you too. And this is north of Henrietta now. Maybe a little thunder and lightning in it. Nothing severe right now. And I do expect this stuff to weaken gradually over the next several hours. But that's still a decent little cell there northeast of Henrietta. All right, so we got some people asking about tomorrow. Let me see if I can add another here we can look at, because tomorrow is going to be 100% dependent upon where the dry line is. You know, a lot of our computer models, I feel like anyway, are too far to the east with it. And I feel like that it'll be a little bit further west than what some of our computer models are showing here. So I'm just trying to get stuff kind of lined up here before I show you, and I'll share this one here in just a moment. All right, I think these are dew points. All right. So back we go here. Look at that thunderstorm there north of Henrietta. I think it's really starting to look pretty nice right there. I think it's really, you may wind up getting a warning up there in Jefferson County on that. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you some model data here, and we will go from there. All right, so this would be the dry lines that we're looking at now. And in this particular computer model, you know, this isn't my preferred color palette method here. I think that it should, I don't know, whoever made this, I don't think it looks good, because I mean, it doesn't make any sense. But all right, so in this instance, this blue over here would represent some really dry air, and this, what you would think would be dry air, represents the moisture here. So if we put this in motion for you, you're going to notice how overnight tonight that just kind of stays back west there a bit. Oh, well, that didn't go out very far, did it? That may be ingesting still. All right, so here's the NAM computer model. This is what we want to look at here. But there is your dry line right there. And that will be, and the dry line on this particular model is kind of at this point in time, it's kind of bulged out there from just east of Altus down into the western part of Wichita County, down to about Graham, Texas. That would be at about 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. This over here, all this orange would be the really, really soupy stuff. So, but there you are at 7 p.m. It has the dry line just east of Wichita Falls there, kind of over in Clay County. Now, the 3K NAM, for whatever reason, only goes out 10 hours on this right here, but it is developing thunderstorms. Maybe the HWR models will do a better job with it. Let me see. So let's do this here. This is just some modeling data here. Yeah, that's not showing anything. That's not what I want to show. Because the 3K NAM does develop some thunderstorms, some supercell thunderstorms on the dry line tomorrow afternoon there. But it doesn't go out, far enough for me to be able to show you here. Yeah, that's not going to be what we want to show. So anyway, but yeah, that's what I'm expecting at least a chance for an isolated thunderstorm or two along that dry line tomorrow afternoon, wherever that dry line is, a couple of isolated supercell thunderstorms. And the environment, once again, tomorrow is very, very, very moist, very unstable. A lot of shear in the atmosphere there, especially if you get a little closer to I-35. So if we can get supercell storms going, there will be a significant severe and a tornado threat there tomorrow. I think that'll primarily be east of Wichita Falls. Look at that cell, how that is really growing here. I don't see any rotation in that. I wouldn't think you would see any rotation, but that thing is really starting to increase a bit there. And that just goes to show you our weather information just hasn't been very good. It hadn't done a good job with handling where storms are going to be and all that kind of stuff. So, and there's also some more storms developing down here north of Abilene. So overnight tonight, there could be some thunderstorms. I think their threat, if we get anything at all, would be a little hail. And then we'll recharge tomorrow afternoon, especially east of Wichita Falls, Lawton, those areas. Could be some severe weather. Could be some over here to the west here too. But I think the best chance is going to be east. So we got some questions here, and no tornadoes in Burkburnett tonight, no. And I do think they'll be mostly east, Bobby. So that's my true thought here. Let me see if I can do something here. That does show a little bit of an increase in about a half-inch hail. I'm playing around with this, so just kind of just forgive me here for just a minute. Humor me for just a minute. That kind of shows that shows how high up in the atmosphere this goes. That's a meteorological tool there. I think there's a way. Yeah, this is kind of cool. This kind of shows some pretty cool stuff here too. Sometimes I'll probably play around with it a little bit. If we had tornadoes and stuff, you could see them right here. It'd be really cool to look at. But we don't have any of that, so we're not too worried about it. Sorry, I'm just playing around here. All right. Well, that's really all I got here, folks. I just wanted to do a little quick update for you, and I will have some more information for you tomorrow. In the meantime, everybody have a good night, and we'll see you then.